Guys, so welcome back and thanks for tuning in. So this is my video response to Running with Comics 600 subs contest. Well done, my friend. It seems like you got a contest every month at the moment because your subs just keep going up and up and up and up, making me well jealous. But congratulations, sir. It's highly deserved. You really are becoming a pillar of this comic book community. Always nice. You always answer every comment. At least you have mine anyway, which I really do appreciate, so thank you. And yeah, really appreciate your videos. Always enjoy your thoughts and your pickups and some of your more candid views. I like the fact that you ain't scared to say that Superman's shit. Don't necessarily agree with that all the time, but I can definitely understand where you come from. He is the best superhero, but in being the best superhero, you know, he's also the most valuable because he should just be great and perfect, and it doesn't really make for great stories, does it? But yep, you know, I really enjoy your videos, so well done, mate. So you set us some questions. Always good. I like the questions. They always make us think. Once I've made this video, I'm gonna tune in and watch some of the other guys' videos in response to your contest. Look forward to that. And I think one of the first questions you asked was, which book is the most precious to yourself? Tricky one. There's a lot of great books. I narrowed it down to 3, which were, excuse me, I'll just go grab them, they're behind me. Yeah, I narrowed them down to 3. And this is the first one being Malibu Sun, issue 13. This isn't a comic book, but it is the first appearance of Spawn. And Spawn was one of my big heroes when I was growing up for me. He was really fundamental in my comic book collecting. I started collecting him when I was, what, 12, 13, around, what's it, 92 or something. So yeah, I was really into Spawn in a big way. You know, I've still got the posters on my wall and whatnot. So to have the first appearance of Spawn is kind of a bit of a holy grail for myself. So I really do love this book, but it's not a book. It's not really a book, so I can't really count it into this because it's more of a pamphlet. So I can't really count that. So then I was stuck with Spawn issue 1. Easy book to get hold of. A fantastic book. And yes, this means a lot to me because, like I said, Spawn was so special to me growing up. So this gets a mention. But to be truth be told, I am torn between this and this. X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills. Bit of an odd one, I think. This is the first comic book I actually remember reading. Before Spawn, you know, I love Spawn, and he is, you know, the building block of my comic building exercise, I guess, you know, my history of comics. But this is what really sort of started it for me at the time. And it's a bit of unknown really, because I didn't know it was starting for me. This is the first book I read. I bought comic books previously to that, but to be honest with me, I just flicked them over. I looked at the pictures, I thought the art was great. Didn't really read any of the books until my mum bought this for me one Christmas, I think it was. And I must have been about 10 or 11. And I read it. You know, I looked at the pictures at first, but then I remember being in the living room with my parents, and my parents were watching some program that was really boring. So I thought I'll read it. And once I did, it kind of blew my mind. I wasn't fully aware of all the concepts of what was in this book at the time, but it kind of made me aware that comic books are much more than just, you know, superheroes punching each other in the face. They really are mainstream into what's going on into society at the time. You know, and this, you know, this book sort of mirrored racism and, you know, and just sort of people being segregated because of their beliefs and views and stuff. And so this really did mirror a lot of things that was going on in my life at the time. Even though I was 10, you know, I know it sounds stupid, but I still could relate to what was going on in this book. So this was the first book I read, and as such it has a very special part. It holds a very special place in my heart for me. So yeah, I love this book. You know, I think everyone's read it. You know, it may not be the best story in the world, but I certainly did enjoy it. Next up, I'm sorry if I get these questions out of order. I will try to keep them in order. I believe you said what was the comic book series you enjoyed the most but felt was the most underappreciated. For me, again, back in about 2000, early 2000s or late 90s, I can't remember which now, it's all a bit of a blur to be honest, getting old. It was Exiles, which was a Marvel comic book, and Exiles was about a group of mutants that basically went from different dimensions to different dimensions. They went from different Earths to different Earths, and these parallel worlds, in where things were the same but a bit different, and it basically allowed the writers to do whatever they wanted. You know, because they weren't dealing with the main 616 universe, they could basically do whatever they wanted. So they could kill Wolverine, they could kill Magneto, they could make Wolverine the main bad guy, they could just do any number of things. You know, what would happen if Hulk and, I don't know, Storm had a baby, you know, whatever. You know, so it really gave the writers a free rein to just do whatever they wanted. And by doing that, they was able to drop characters, you know, involve new characters. It was great, you know, and it was just a real easy, fun read for me. And I really enjoyed it. It did have a pretty good run, to be fair. But at the time, I think I felt like I was the only person reading it. You know, I tried to talk to people about the series, and they never heard of it, you know. Which was, it's a shame, because it was a really good series, and it's probably going to be on one of my future lists to get the back catalogue, to be fair. It reminded me of the program from the 90s called Sliders, with, I think it was Jerry O'Connell, where like this group of people went from dimension to dimension, and every Earth was the same, but it was just a slightly bit different. You know, like one Earth would be, what if Hitler won the war? You know, so you think it's all right, and then suddenly something weird happened, like the Third Reich came out the corner or something. So yeah, it always reminded me of that series, and I love that series, and I think that's why I love the book, you know, because it kind of mixed the series I loved, you know, and I love the sci-fi element, but also love the superheroes, and you know, you put them together, it's always going to be good. So yeah, it was nice to see different things. So yeah, Exiles, Marvel Universe, very good. Next up was what's on your tomb list. Well, for me, I don't have a lot on my tomb list. I'm always writing down a few books here and there, a few graphic novels, what I want to keep my eye out for if they turn up cheap. But generally, I'm only dealing with 2 series at the moment, and I think that's all I can deal with at the moment. You know, it's very expensive, and you know, plus I like to focus my energy into one avenue, and then when I've got that, I'll move on to something else. And so at the moment, I'm collecting Uncanny X-Men. I want to get the full run. So from ideally in Ideal World, I'd like Giant Size, and then issue 94 up to 544. That'd be ideal, but they're going to be some pretty expensive issues there, which I probably won't get the sort of Holy Grail books for me. So Uncanny X-Men's one list I'm collecting, and X-Men Volume 2 is the other, because they kind of go hand in hand for me, and I'm trying to collect them both. So what I do is I've got an Excel spreadsheet at work. I'm very sad, I'm very organised and very meticulous, and basically I've got a check sheet. So there's my check sheet. It starts at issue 94 at the top, it goes all the way to 544. So as you can see, anything in blue is what I've got. Okay, anything in white is what I need. So there's quite a lot there I need, but I made good inroads. So that's the Uncanny X-Men. And then we've got X-Men Volume 2. So it starts off it's Volume 2 of X-Men, and it starts at issue 1 at the top, and it goes up to 275, where it's X-Men's Legacy. So again, anything in blue I have, anything in white I need, which that's a slightly better one. I've got a bit more in those books. I've got some doubles which I need to get rid of as well. So yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm working on Uncanny X-Men and X-Men Volume 2. I do love the X-Men books. I've said it many a time. So yeah, that's what I'm working on there. And fourth question? Yeah, I think I am. Fourth question. Honourable mentions and shout-outs. Well, there's too many. There's far too many people to mention, so they're all great. I've got Cosmo Bosco 771, 87 Boba Fett, Hulk's Big Toe, Dr. Monkeybot, The Dark Knight, The Incredible CJ, Running with Comics, There's many 604 comics, Nerdy McNerdy, Gambit 896. There's literally probably I could probably mention hundreds of people in there because they're all fantastic, and I generally feel I haven't seen one person on YouTube that involves himself in the comic book community that I've thought was a douche. You know, there isn't. Everyone seems like great people. So yeah, they're fantastic, and you know, I'll soak it all up. You know, Vin Crew 12,000, Tim Moran, Sarah Smash, you name it. Mr. Fix-It, Mr. Fix-It Smash, Hibby's Collectibles, The Great Legend. You know, you could go on and on and on. You know, so there's loads of honourable mentions. But I do give honourable mentions to 87 Boba Fett, Cosmo Bosco 771. Awesome guy. I've got so much time for him, it's unreal. Always answers my questions. Always sends a friendly email. He's just a fantastic guy and a fantastic YouTuber, and he's great in the community. Again, Gambit 896, same with him. Awesome guy. Really appreciate all he does. Fantastic reviews. Seriously, go and check out his channel. His reviews are fantastic. He goes into real detail, and he should be a salesman because he makes me want to buy everything he reviews. And Hulk's Big Toe, again, great guy, great laugh. Always answers all my questions, always replies, and really enjoys videos. Being English, I get his sense of humour a bit more. I don't know, maybe always makes me laugh. So yeah, fantastic guys. But as a whole, I'd like to say thank you to the whole community because I think you're all fantastic. And now I think the final question was a question for yourself. So my question for you is there, you know, what is your biggest regret? And I don't mean in life. I don't want to get too deep. But what is your biggest regret in the comic book world? You know, is there a book you wish you had bought at the time that's now turned out to be a massive hit that's worth hundreds of dollars? You know, is there something you've turned down or given away? What is your biggest regret in the comic book world? I'd love to know what that is. For me, it was selling my comic book collection. I wish I'd never done it, and I regret that day. You know, I've started a new collection now, but yeah, I wish I still had my old collection. I really do. So yeah, what's your biggest regret? And that's it. I think that's all your questions. I hope I've answered them all. Please enter me for your contest. Thanks once again for making videos. I really enjoy them. And I look forward to the next one. Cheers. Take care. Bye.